Howdy folks, Wayne Davis here with Texas Saltwater Fishing Magazine. I wrote about it in my article and I want to talk a little bit about keeping your lure in the strike zone as long as possible. You know, in the summertime, it's not that big a deal because the fish are a little bit more active, but here we are coming off the tail end of winter and we still have an opportunity to catch a big trout of a lifetime. So I can always tell when folks come down from Galveston or in the upper coast because they have to use, generally speaking, heavier jig heads, bigger baits, things that fall faster. The water's a lot deeper there. And they throw a plastic out there. They're coming down with an 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce, and they're working their rod way up here like this. Big swings in their rod because of the heavy weight. Here in Port Mansfield, shallow water, to keep your lure in the strike zone the longest, short twitches. Little bitty twitches like this and extremely light jig heads, such as a 1/16, maybe a 3/32. We're fishing in thigh deep water and you're not working that rod in these big swings, right? You want little twitches with your rod because you want the lure to move short distances in the water column so those fish have an opportunity to see the lure, think about what they want to do with the lure, and then eat the lure. When you're jerking that rod, it's not going to happen. Those fish are going to let it swim on by. Short twitches with your rod on plastics and suspending baits, the same. No reason to work that lure frantically. And especially if you're targeting big trout. You come through that pothole with either a floating bait, a suspending bait, and even a topwater, but in a plastic. This is there's a lot of plastic on here. This is a 1/16 ounce jig head. It's not sinking very fast. You just want to move it through the water. Real short twitches like this so those fish have an opportunity to think about it, see it, think about it, and strike it. So when you're fishing, slow down. Anglers fish way too fast too often. You can always speed up your retrieve. It's hard for anglers to concentrate enough to slow everything down. That's why I like using a retrieve that's slow, in the 6s, 7, 8s. That's not for me. I can't do it. I fish too fast. Force yourself to fish slower, keep the lure in the strike zone longer, and I promise you, you'll have better success at catching big fish. Thanks a lot.